Alright, welcome everyone to today's ESL Pro Series game between Velocity and Salad Bar. I'm PanderNyrl here with CrusaderKittten to give you all the great commentary about the game as these two wonderful teams match up together for one of the final games before the playoffs in the ESL Pro Series, as it looks like right away we have bans on Twisted Fate and Elise along with that Malphite, and it should be a rather interesting game.
Yep, and this is Velocity Esports versus the Salad Bar. Once again, Velocity Esports going to be your blue team. The Salad Bar going to be your purple/red team. I like how there's like the uniform of honorable opponent on the Salad Bar. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to be having these bands coming out. The final band here will be Twisted Fate, Malphite, and Jace banned out from Velocity Esports. The Salad Bar banning out Elise, Nasus, and Thresh. Twisted Fate and Elise did not surprise me. Elise banned off against Cris. I've been talking about this ever since yesterday where Cloud9 faced off against Velocity. Elise banned out pretty much all the games there. Cris plays a very strong Elise. It's like the first pick. They're going to be Kha'zix. Rest of these bans look to be half target, half whatever there. And looks like, so the Kha'zix being first pick here, possibly mid, possibly top. What do you think about that pick coming in?
It's a great pick as Velocity Esports loves to roam around and get that mid-game pressure going, and Kha'zix is probably the strongest mid-game champion in the game at the moment. The big surprise here for me, though, is they didn't pick up the Draven, and Draven wasn't banned out, as basically MapleStreet has gained legend on that Draven, and he's not been picked yet, so we're going to see if Salad Bar has a counter to it, or they're just going to try and play around it.
frommaplestreet.
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry. Varus just an amazing Draven player. He was banned out. That was banned out against him every single game yesterday. That's like go on.
And it looks like we're going to see the Salad Bar taking their time, going to be able to pick up the Renekton, and I expect them to pick up another strong mid lane hero such as such as Zed, but it's going to be Lee Sin instead, going with one of the other ninjas. And it looks like there's the MapleStreet Draven, no question.
Wow, just no thought about it. He's playing Draven, just his champion. It's gonna be that's gonna be very scary for this Alibi. Seeing when it comes to play. I'm gonna assume Poppy's a placeholder because there's no way Vileroze is playing. Or there's no way they're playing Poppy. There's no way.
I don't know. Poppy gained popularity a while back in Season 2. He just kind of randomly came in popularity because he was really just annoying champion. But I do agree with you. It's likely going to be a placeholder. Not sure exactly for what, but we'll see in just a few moments. As it looks like Salad Bar is going to be picking up the Varus Janna lane, giving them a lot of early and mid-game pressure, along with a great disengage if Kha'zix tries to jump in on you.
Yeah, DkBnet, which would be the AD carry, is definitely your favorite player with Varus. So I guess we'll see how this turns out for him against the legendary from MapleStreet on Draven. Just a little bit of background on these teams. Velocity Esports is a new LCS team, and if you have been paying attention to that, the Salad Bar, they play a lot of our NESL Go Flows, as well as they like have almost every player on the team has over 2,000 normal wins. Next picks coming here will be Shen as well as Evelyn. So Shen is such a strong lane champion. You know, he has so much global presence. But it's really interesting because I'm assuming Poppy then is going to be the placeholder for a support pick, I guess.
I would suspect that's going to be a Lulu or Sona, as Velocity really loves to pick those two champions, and they both do incredibly well against Janna. So we're going to likely have to see what that is after the break, after the remake, as it looks like EHonda is hovering around Ahri. He's known for his Kassadin play, which basically gets a permanent ban at the Go for Low games. But that would be a very risky pick here against what looks to be a jungle or a mid lane Kha'zix and a jungle Evelyn. So that would be a very interesting to see how that Evelyn works out. We saw that played yesterday, I believe, and it worked out okay, but it was never that amazing force that we've seen in some of the pub games where Evelyn can just roam around in the jungle and be an absolute monster.
Yeah, and there it comes to remake. But Ahri, I've seen EHonda play Ahri a few times. He's done some interesting things. For example, he started off with 42 pot potion, and then he went for auto attacks, and he got a first blood because he had that fort pot, and just auto attack the other mid laner to death. It was ridiculous. I'm not even sure how that worked. But I definitely seen him play Ahri before. I'm sure he's at least somewhat strong with Ahri, of course, to be playing him in this game, which is for EPS. Looking over at the team records as they're just going to be playing off their normal, or just banning off whatever. They might ban it all. I thought they were gonna ban out Velocity because he banned a V.
They could have done that. That would have been fun to do.
I'm not sure why. I'm kind of sad and disappointed. I'm just kidding. But yeah, they're probably just going to go ahead and go through these picks here. So we've seen... Oh no, we have to wait for the support. And let's see if you're right. What were you guessing? You were
I
guessing
was
Lulu
It's
or
most
Sona?
likely Lulu or Sona. I In this lineup, I'd lean towards Sona, but either one of them would be an amazing choice. And it's actually a Nami. Okay, that makes a
Ooh.
lot more sense why they wouldn't have Nami on their champion roster. We've seen Nami a lot in these EPS games, as she's gained a lot
Uh,
of popularity for her ability to basically apply a slow, set up ganks, and be an all-around menace in the lane. And this is a great counterpick to Janna, as she has a bit of sustain and has the ability to just slow Janna down, so her slow is not very effective.
yeah, we did see Nami picked up last game by Evaniskus, or last game as in the last match between Velocity Esports and Cloud9 Gaming. That was last night. Evaniskus played a very mean Nami. The only problem is it didn't work out for them. Cloud9 continued their undefeated streak. Just looking overall, Velocity Esports so far in the EPS is 42 in their matches right now. The salad bar a little bit lower at 2 to 3, so the salad bar is definitely looking to help even themselves up. Velocity Esports is looking to take the second place slot if they are able to win this match. So definitely like winning this obviously is going to be very nice for teams, and overall just winning is nice for a team. So looking over at these team comps here, what do you think so far when it comes to like the team fights? How will they come together?
I think we're going to see Velocity really try and use their split push advantage and use the fact that Varus' Kha'Zix is very potent at isolating targets, keeping them in a 1v1 situation, and forcing them to make moves on him. He does an excellent job of roaming around, and I think we're going to see Velocity continually split push and never really go in for team fights. They're going to use the fact that Evelyn can sneak around the map to kind of go along with Shen or Kha'Zix and surprise people in those 2v1 situations once the laning phase is kind of broken down. On the other side, though, of the salad bar, we're going to see them go for an incredibly early game team comp, as they really need to win their lanes and secure the mid game, or they're going to basically be outscaled, as I do believe we're going to see Velocity outscale them into the later game unless there's a major lead on the side of salad bar.
Yeah, so looking over these Sona cells, pretty much everything standard coming out from these guys. Shen, Cris on Shen running with the Ignite, no teleport for the double globals or anything coming out from him. Although there is like kind of the global from Draven, he has that ultimate that could go across the map, although it might swing back and if it's something. Also Renekton going with that Ghost, just a very useful laning tool, especially in top lane, to be able to run away, because it's a very long lane up in top lane. So do you think there's going to be any lane swaps coming out from these guys?
I'd expect them to do the fairly standard lane swap, let Varus and Janna go up and get that free farm in the top lane. Renekton should be able to stay alive versus Nami and Draven decently well, assuming he starts off with something like that cloth armor, so he doesn't get just absolutely destroyed by that lane. And it would also mean Varus and Janna don't have to deal with Draven and Nami, as I think one Aqua Prison would basically spell the end of Janna, as it is a long enough stun for Draven to get several auto attacks in and basically end your game or force you to go back to the fountain.
Yeah, just frommaplestreet once again, amazingly scary Draven player. So definitely gonna be seeing the odd one's brother come out here. He's gonna be scary. I'm really excited for this match to come in. It's like the last, or it's actually the first match because today is a Sunday. The first match of today's week of EPS games. I'm not too sure when the next EPS games will be coming up, but ESL Pro Series have the top 8 teams in the Challenger League. They're very strong teams. 2 of our teams from EPS have actually gone into the LCS. About like I think 4. All the teams that were in the qualifiers to get into LCS were in EPS, mixing of acronyms there. So definitely gonna be some exciting games coming up. So getting to this last few half minute of the spectator delay, we will go into a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Please turn off your ad block. You won't miss anything. We're just gonna go on mute. You'll be seeing the load screen. That's all you'll be seeing. So everyone, stay tuned for these EPS games. It will be very exciting.
Alright, and we are back from the break as the loading screen just about hits, and it should be a really exciting game to see whether the salad bar can take Velocity Esports, as both of these teams were up for promotion in the LCS, with Velocity making it, and they did not make it on the side of salad bar. So they will be back here in the EPS most likely. And it looks like we are going to be seeing a bunch of really cool skins. Which ones are your favorite?
Oh man, I really like. I don't really like Warlord Shen. I personally like Bloodman. It's like that's my skin for Shen. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I've been deciding it too much. PanderNyrl. Which one do you think is better? Who's gonna win based on skins?
Based on skins, I'd have to go with Velocity. Partly because they have the mecha skins, and the mecha skins are some of the coolest in the game. And the only problem with mecha skins is we don't get to see the Urgot one enough, just due to him not being picked. But I love these two team comps, and it looks like Draven is going with that cleanse, while we do have the barrier up onto Varus, as he really wants to be able to duel with Draven, and that extra bit of health can really make the difference in those games.
Wow. Automatically, lots of pings coming up here onto the bottom side of the map. So what we've seen from last game, last match, Cloud9 versus Velocity, pretty much the team that got the early lead was the team that won the game. We saw it, I'm pretty sure, all 3 games. Third game was a little bit iffy on that, but this is pretty much what we've seen. We're seeing grouping up.
And it looks like EHonda might get caught here.
Oh, we're going EHonda, the taunt comes out. Oh, the Charge comes off, but EHonda's in a terrible place. Smashing in for AK, picks up the first blood. Hirishin's getting way too forward now. They could possibly go for him. Exhaust goes out to Hirishin. The Aqua Prison lands, and there's Vileroze picking up the second blood. This is very much like the last games where we saw the first 2 kills go off to one team. And this is really going to be bad for this salad bar. First blood going on to the jungler as well as the mid laner.
Really just poor decision to try and contest that when they don't have any real good level 1 CC on the side of Salad Bar. They need to just back up, play defensively, and not get invaded on, because we saw that Aqua Prison and Shadow Dash were ridiculously strong, and giving Evelyn a first blood is not something you can afford to do.
Thing is, the Shadow Dash didn't even hit. It just forced EHonda to go out to the brush and go out to the lane, away from his own team. And what happened is that Egg King just popped out, surprised, and picked up the first blood there. So it was just really, I'm not even sure if they thought that one out, but they had very nice positioning there.
And with that, they were going to see, looks like Kha'zix going to be sitting in base. He did pick up a Fortitude pot, so he's going to look to go all in very quickly onto EHonda and this Ahri. What do you think Kha'zix is going to do outside of just try and kill Ahri? Do you think he's going to start roaming early, or do you think we're going to see him just try and make sure Ahri has the worst time in the entire game?
I definitely think he'll be trying to take out Ahri early. I mean, she already has a kill down. Kha'zix is a kill up. Thing is, he won't need to roam too much because Evelyn was able to pick up the Madrid's Razors, and that just helps out her jungling so much. So she'll probably be able to have such a fast jungle queue that she can roam around. So we do see standard lanes coming up, no lane swaps as we were thinking about, but from Maplestreet, already level 2. Look at him, he's just bullying out DkBnet. ArcZSlash comes down to ArcZSlash. This could be a kill to cleanse out onto the exhaust. ArcZSlash taking so much damage. And to look how low this bottom lane is.
And they're going to have to go back to base, and that's just the advantage of the blue side and getting Draven to level 2. He caught basically every single one of those axes. And the Aqua Prison was perfectly placed onto Janna, and they're actually going to try and stay in this lane and get the CS at the tower. But I'm not sure how well DkBnet can do that, as Draven might even decide to dive him at this point.
Yeah, this is extremely dangerous for this bottom lane here from Maplestreet, and Evaniskus just have such a high advantage at this point. This is just going to be such a rough lane. No, mid lane again coming in for King onto EHonda. Varus going aggressive onto this one. Charm coming up. Ghoztzero gets on into there, but EHonda will be going down. Varus picks up the kill on the tower shots, actually hitting down Vileroze. Ghoztzero picks up the kill. Looks like King just goes ahead and walks out of there. So 1-for-1 trade. The kill's being traded there.
It was a good trade, though, as Kha'zix is only sitting on 3 CS.
Oh, bottom lane, Aqua Prison onto DkBnet. Barrier gets used by him from Maplestreet. Damage from those axes just forced both summoners from DkBnet.
And they really got close to killing him this time. Draven on Maplestreet took a lot of damage from that tower, but he should be okay. He has Evaniskus to heal him back up, as Nami does have sustain. And back to this mid lane. We've only seen Varus pick up 3 CS at this point. He really wanted that kill, and Lee Sin was there just in time to prevent him from having a very good early game start. He does have those 2 kills, but he just doesn't feel like he's that far ahead, considering how far ahead he actually is.
Yeah, and actually looks like top lane and King is so active right now in this jungle here. He actually went mana potions too. That's pretty funny. So top lane, here comes the gank coming out from King onto Hirishin. However, it looks like the double dashes away as well as the ghost. Renekton's gonna be fine and gets out of there.
Excellent play there by Hirishin to recognize that Evelyn was likely going to be coming up top. He doesn't have any good way to really spot her out. He doesn't have a pink ward. He only has that green ward, which will not be particularly effective, as it looks like she's going to be rotating up top yet again.
Yep, Shadow Dash hints Hirishin, but once again, Slice and Dice comes out. There'll probably be some damage on the haste spikes. Actually, they're going to be diving under the tower. The stun goes up to AKA the Ignite, picks up the kill, and Hirishin's going to be able to get away with that. What? He turned that one so well. He just turned that one.
That's the power of Renekton and why we love to see him in the early game. He landed that stun perfectly on Evelyn as soon as she came in range, so she couldn't get out of there. And her flash was on cooldown from using it earlier in that mid lane. And that really just sealed her fate. And that gives Salad Bar a much needed influx of gold, as it looks like we're going to see an interesting set of roaming here by both Ghoztzero and EHonda, as they're going to rotate in this bottom lane and try to make something happen to Draven under this tower.
Yeah, I think they really want to shut down from Maplestreet on Draven. However, they're not even level 6, and the charm actually goes off to Evaniskus. The knockup is not going to be able to hit. The Q does land, but they're not even getting onto from Maplestreet. They're going to be putting off some damage out onto him. However, the question is, do they want to go for the dive from Maplestreet, taking damage? Ghoztzero picks up the goal. He's exhausted by Evaniskus, taking tower shots. He will be able to live through that. And they actually pick up the kill into from Maplestreet. It goes down onto Ghoztzero, and that Lee Sin, he's going to be having a pretty nice early game with that, I think.
He's done an excellent job of making plays happen and really securing kills for his team. He barely secured the kill on Kha'zix in the mid lane earlier. He just barely secures that kill on Draven, as he was in the exact right spot when he needed to be. The only problem with this is Kha'zix getting a lot of farm, and actually a great move by Hirishin to rotate in the mid lane, as I thought Vileroze would have been able to easily take that tower to below half and prevent EHonda from roaming.
Yeah, this in general is just getting really smart. I mean, EHonda, Ghoztzero, roaming down to bottom lane. Like, they still got a kill. They got a lot of assists on people there. It's extra gold for them. It's very, very nice. Taking from Maplestreet out of the lane so that DkBnet can farm up for a while. Also, mid lane, before the whole roaming thing happened, EHonda was actually doing very well mid lane. He was really harassing out Vileroze. The Orb of Deception on Ahri just being such a strong tool to harass, because as comes in and comes out, has true damage when it comes back. So it's a really strong harass tool. And now what we saw was a 2-0 lead for Velocity, and what we thought we saw was going to be a snowball, like a wild snowball coming off from Velocity. The Salad Bar is actually kind of returning some of the kills, and it's made it even in kills.
Big thing here, though, is Draven on Maplestreet has not actually picked up any of the kills. He's picked up 2 assists, so he's not that far ahead of DkBnet and on Varus, as he is only getting those assists. He's only up 8 CS, so it's not a huge lead, and DkBnet's actually going to be better in a duel just because he has the extra Doran's Blade. Up top, we see Renekton under a bit of trouble yet again.
Yeah, another gank going off onto Hirishin, but I mean, he has the ultimate to be popped. He does have the slice and dice. He's waiting for Ghoztzero to come in. They're going right back in onto Cris here. The damage onto Cris. Ghoztzero picks up another kill. And Kha'zix is very low. Will he be able to get out of this one? Looks like he has enough movement speed. But the bait right there. He saved the slice and dice to reinitiate in there. New Ghoztzero is coming up, and that was really well done.
Looks like we saw Nami's ult actually being burned in the bottom lane just to try to protect Maplestreet at this point, as DkBnet's doing a great job of sustaining himself, and Maplestreet might go down.
Yeah, damage going off onto Maplestreet, having the cleanse came across. It was a nice Aqua Prison. Here comes the Stand United. The kill going off onto DkBnet. Maplestreet picking that one up. Cris appears into the lane now, but I don't think they'll be able to chase after ArcZSlash.
Up top, Ninking's under a lot of trouble as Lee Sin gets a nice kick on him and gets the follow-up, and he's going to be able to push him down very dead, as NK Inc. just playing a little too aggressively.
Ghoztzero is just doing work in this game right now. He's playing very well, getting his team relevant back into this game. I mean, he's getting Hirishin and Snowball top of it. He's definitely doing extremely well. The only thing now is bottom lane they have to deal with from Maplestreet.
And he actually picked up that kill, which is a real good thing. And the biggest thing about that kill was, I believe Salad Bar figured Shen would be down for another 2 or 3 seconds so that they would have time to kill Maplestreet. But instead, Maplestreet lived just long enough for Shen to respawn, get the ult out, and turn that fight around in their favor, and Velocity's managed to take the first tower of the game.
Yeah, so this goal lead is going to be going into the favor of Velocity, but this is still definitely the salad bar. They're definitely still in this game. I repeat the same thing, but they can come back from a little bit of the goal last year because Lee Sin, Ghoztzero on Lee Sin, he's just having so much effect on into this game. EHonda hasn't done terribly bad. He's still keeping up in farm. The top lane Hirishin, he's just doing so well right now. And let's go ahead and go look over it. I am Shen building up for the taking this, of course. Hirishin building actually a little bit of the damage route. Picks up the early brutalizer. Not going for too much taking this just yet. Of course, he'll probably build it later. Lee Sin is still waiting on him. He actually has 1,400 gold. I'm going to predict the Sightstone as most of them do. Actually, mobility boots. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to mobility boots, and I'm not sure what he's going to use that crystal, the ruby crystal for. He could be the Sightstone, which you were talking about, and I think that'd be a great decision, as they need the extra ward coverage, and it would allow them to move so incredibly fast around the map, along with those mobility boots. He's looking to just sit around and counter gank, and so far that has worked very well. I love Renekton's decision to pick up damage. He needs to trade with Shen, and Shen is not picking up armor for at least a little bit longer. It looks like we're going to have both junglers in this top lane, waiting for action.
Yeah, King is just trying to get onto Hirishin, but so is Ghoztzero. They go onto Hirishin, ultimately being used. Dominant is coming out here. Cris, lots the damage very low. The kick combo coming out from Ghoztzero onto NK Inc. However, NK is trying to get onto Hirishin, but the heal's coming in. He's going to be able to live throughout that. Barely any health left. Wow, just the counter gains coming out of Ghoztzero is so strong right now.
And it's really keeping Velocity on their toes. This Evelyn has not gotten going yet. She has 3 deaths so far, and they've all basically been in counter ganks in this top lane, as she really needs to just continue farming and let this top lane kind of play out. I don't think she can afford to gank that lane anymore, as every time she does, perfect play by Lee Sin is able to save Renekton and keep that fight in favor of the salad bar.
Oh man, just look at this mid lane right here. This tower is getting so low. Vileroze and Kha'zix actually losing to the EHondas. Ahri also top lane. Ghoztzero picking up that tower kill as well as mid lane following. So now it's 2-1 in towers and EHonda has the gold lead. EHonda going on into Vileroze throughout the ultimate. The charm does not land. He's going under the tower here, throwing out the orb of deception, flashes away, and the ultimate is used by Shen there. So that's
down
going to
bottom
be
we
down
have
for
DkBnet under a lot of trouble, and he is going to go down here to Draven as MapleStreet just continues to poke. I don't think he'll be able to pick up Janna. She does have her ultimate. Surprised she didn't use that earlier, but they will be able to pick up at least 1 kill as Ghoztzero comes in here for a good protection of this tower.
Yeah, as the top and mid lane seems to be doing really well for the salad bar. Velocity's bottom lane is thriving right here from MapleStreet. So strong on Draven. We're just seeing this come time and time again. DkBnet just having so many issues right now.
The big thing I'm surprised about is Evelyn's build, as it looks like she's building a Spirit of the Elder Lizard and Madrid's Razor, and they haven't gone for an objective with those builds, because she can do so much damage to minions at this point, that they could take down Dragon, or they could take down a buff within about 2 or 3 seconds almost. Ghoztzero is running into this mid lane. They see Kha'zix, and it looks like he will be able to engage.
Yeah, Ghoztzero getting onto Varus, throwing off the kick. Oh, the Q doesn't land, but Vileroze is going to get surrounded by 3 people here. He failed that leap, unfortunately, and Vileroze is going to be going down here and picking up the kill. I think what happened with NK's build, he went back, he picked up the Madrid's Razors when he got the first blood. It gives, like, in general, just a faster jungle clear, but then you realize on Evelyn, you want that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, which he has just picked up there, so now he has picked up that Spirit of the Elder Lizard. I'm not too sure what he's going to do with the Madrid's Razors there. So it looks like the Dragon is going to be coming off for the salad bar.
And this is going to be a completely free dragon. They've got pink wards all throughout this mid lane as protection from Eve and to make sure they have complete control of this game. And so far the Salad Bar has shown that they can counter gank and play with the best of them, as they're up over 1,000 gold here on Velocity.
Yeah, I was really expecting Velocity to come out strong and snowball off of that those early 2 kills, but the Salad Bar just playing this so well. They picked up the first dragon. Just look at the ward coach. Yeah, there's so many pink wards out right now. Lee Sin has picked up that Sightstone there, so obviously wants to get all his ward jumps in there. It's so useful just because he can put wards down, help out his team. The play is just coming out from the Salad Bar. I wouldn't be surprised if they started roaming bottom lane. Do you think they start trying to help out?
Looks like we're going to see Nami use a big ultimate, and Varus is going to be able to protect himself for just a little bit, but it's not going to be no, it might actually be enough, as MapleStreet didn't want to pursue.
Yeah, I just threw out the ultimate, I think, for the damager, but still, they're just damaging onto this bottom lane, and it goes back to the question: is do you think anyone's like, because no one is really trying to roam down bottom lane right now?
I think we're going to see the Salbar continue to apply pressure to mid and top. They're going to let DkBnet farm, which he's doing a decent job of, and he's done a good job of staying protected. We saw the blue buff steal here on Renekton, and Ahri's been able to keep this mid lane completely clear of Evelyn and wards, so that she can continually push this lane up and prevent Varus from running around as she tries to jump on him in the mid lane.
Yeah, just popping the ultimate. It looks like Ghoztzero is around to see if he can push on it. This Varus having so many issues against EHonda's Ahri. It's really amazing to see that he's actually having issues. He looks like Shen picking up that Sunfire Cape. Nice pushing guy, needs that armor versus the Renekton there. And there's 3 people grouped up in this mid lane trying to see what they can do right now.
And I think it's a good decision to try and make stuff happen on this top and middle lane, as they really can't do anything in this bottom lane. MapleStreet and Evaniskus have enough disengage and have enough power overall that they could basically get away from any ganks. And Evelyn has tried to gank down bottom, NK Inc. just not finding the opportunity, as this minion wave basically never leaves the tower. And it looks like we are going to be seeing this top lane pushed very heavily as there's a 3-man gank. But Lee jumps in for some good damage. There's the ultimate from Shen, which will save Vileroze. But it looks like Lee not going to go in. They realize somebody's up. And it is going to be none for none up top. But Salbar comes out far worse for wear in that engagement, as Velocity manages to hold the tower, and they manage to save themselves from any deaths. As MapleStreet continues to farm, he is the high farmer of the game, sitting at about 140s. Nami throws out the big ultimate, and it looks like DkBnet is...
Oh, flash out the Aqua Prison. There's the barrier used, a nice knockback coming out from ArcZSlash, but the Draven ultimate isn't going to curve. Oh, almost curved in onto him, but still this bottom lane is just absolutely pushing up. The solo lanes did go back for the Salbar. Lots of big items coming in here. Ruby Sightstone's finished on Lisa and Janna. Ahri finished up the haunting guys. Black Cleaver is now onto Renekton. So there's a lot. Yes, some extra tankiness, a lot of extra damage with that. But the 3-man push up at top lane gives Velocity Esports another tower.
And this is basically what Velocity wants to do at this point. They need to open up some of this map, as MapleStreet is going to be farming down bottom, and I expect Salbar to come down here and try and pressure them. But they can't come down and pressure them if they're constantly pushed into their tier 2 towers. And that's exactly what Velocity needs to do. They can continually apply pressure these tier 2 towers. They'll let MapleStreet continue to farm. He's already the highest farmer. He's already almost the highest in kills, as he has 2 kills and 2 assists already. And then they can start taking some objectives like Dragon, or possibly even going in for a buff steal.
Yeah, and it's just up to the Salbar to really just keep on pressuring all these advantages. Looks like they send DkBnet and ArcZSlash over to mid lane. I think they just really want him to farm, because from MapleStreet, 151 CS, he actually has double buffs now. He's 2-1-2. Like, when they get into team fights, he's going to be absolutely scary.
The biggest thing for him, though, is he doesn't have barrier, and I don't think there's any real reason that cleanse should be used in that team fight, as he should basically be fairly safe. The only thing that is really going to be able to get on him is a charm, or possibly Renekton diving in, but then that's what Nami's there for, to protect you from that kind of engagement. So I think barrier might have been a better choice this game, considering how his team is playing it out.
Yeah, definitely, and looks like he goes back, picks up the Bloodthirster, going for the Phantom Dancer now. Surprising to see this Evelyn's going for a lot of damage here, picking up the Spell Penetration boots. And the thing is, she hasn't really had too much impact in this game. Of course, Ghoztzero on that Lee Sin has just been so active in the ganking, but we're seeing a little bit of a lull of action as everyone's just kind of farming it up.
And that's definitely in favor of Velocity, as I think their team's a little bit stronger in the late game. Though the Salbar does have a lot of great scrimmaging kind of champions, and if they can just continue to fight in these 2v2, 1v1 situations, they'll have an opportunity to take towers off of winning those little engagements. As Renekton's getting big and tanky, he has picked up that Black Cleaver, and with that Black Cleaver, he is looking to make something happen, and he's going to be the primary, kill focus. Will be Draven, as Draven is the only real big threat at the moment on the side of Velocity. Kha'zix has not really gotten going. Evelyn's not really building DPS, and it looks like we're going to see an engagement up top.
Or not, as Cris is able to get away there. but they do have a 2-man push going on. Looks like 3 people down in bottom lane for Velocity Esports, and EHonda just goes out and leaves. They're going to send DkBnet and ArcZSlash to hold the tower. So once again, they're just going back to the normal lanes. DkBnet was able to farm a bit, picked up that Blade of the Ruined King there, so hopefully he'll have some nice sustain that can come out from him. Because so far in this bottom lane, he's just getting outdamped so hard.
The biggest thing, though, is DkBnet can continually push the waves out with his hail of arrows and piercing arrow so that the tower stays alive for a good long time. He can just, as long as he can keep clearing those waves. And it looks like we're going to see Cris under a lot of trouble as Ghoztzero is actually going to be able to steal this blue buff away, denying Kha'zix from ever picking up a blue buff. And it looks like MapleStreet just having a little fun and blowing up ArcZSlash over the wall.
Yeah, but it looks like EHonda has come down here. He's going to be walking through a few wards, and he will be spotted out. But that was the second blue buff, I think, that Hirishin and Ghoztzero were able to take away from Velocity Esports. So they're really just playing over with these objectives, and they're just grouping up, applying pressure to these lanes, and there's a dragon up that they could go for.
The problem is, it looks like everyone here everyone is here from the salad bar, but ArcZSlash might not be alive for long as he takes another 2 or 3 axes.
Going to be coming on to front. She uses the cleanse. Sandy comes into Shen and gets the taunt up. ArcZSlash went down to the Draven ultimate, and now front is trying to run for this, and they're focusing it on to Ghoztzero. He slowly flashes over the wall. Well, DkBnet and trouble because Vileroze is chasing after him down at bottom lane. Hirishin trying to get on front. MapleStreet has the ultimate down, but shut down from MapleStreet, able to kite out. Over at the blue buff area, looks like Ghoztzero did go down to Cris there. And now EHonda and DkBnet are the only ones left alive for the salad bar. It's a 1-for-3 trade.
And with that 1-for-3 trade, that means it's going to be a free dragon in favor of Velocity, as they have no real competition for this dragon. And the salad bar is not in a position to defend it. It really went terribly because they couldn't kill MapleStreet's Draven. He just kited perfectly. And even with a sliver of health left, he continued to turn around, throw those axes at Hirishin, and he'd never had an opportunity to land another attack on him once Lee Sin broke off from the engagement.
Yeah, and just Velocity Esports winning out of that team fight, and that's got to be crashing for the salad bar. They've been looking good, but just from MapleStreet picking up kills in that game, ArcZSlash went down to that Draven ultimate. I don't think he was expecting that, but with that, now there's a fully stacked Bloodthirster on from MapleStreet. Also has that Phantom Dancer and is now building on into the Last Whisper. He has so much gold stacked up on him right now.
And I think he really wants to pick up that Last Whisper real soon, and then to group up as 5 and take some team fights, as they have a bit better of a team fight lineup, as they can easily protect him. They have Vileroze to jump on the back line and kill his only real threats, which would be DkBnet attacking him. As we saw in the last fight, Ghoztzero and Hirishin are not up to the task of killing MapleStreet at this point. They just do not have the damage or mobility to keep up with the fact he is really running fast and has Nami to sit around and protect him, giving him an additional slow, an additional heal, and a bit of extra CC.
Yeah, and it's just looking really good for them now. Front Street just going to snowball really heavily on that. And they really just need to dive in onto him. They can get a good engage off onto him, but they had the same United come out from Cris onto from MapleStreet into that fight. He came and he taunted immediately, able to get the taunt off and remove pressure from MapleStreet. And looks like EHonda really aggressive and pushing up on this mid lane. And so what do you think is the next objective that's going to be contested here?
I think we're almost going to see a tower push on some lane, but I don't think that's going to be for a long time, as neither one of these teams really wants to take an objective, and they just want to continue to farm. Velocity kind of realizes they have the better late game team, they have the better split pusher, and they're going to just sit around, wait for late game, and get that late game, and wait for MapleStreet to become the ultimate Draven monster.
Yeah, so Evaniskus has picked the sword because it looks like he will get engaged onto here. Looks like he might be cheering over to NK Inc. They put the damage out. Ghoztzero picks up that kill. So Evaniskus is trying to take out some wards there, baited NK Inc. to follow him. Ghoztzero got in there, picked up the kill of the rest of his team. So now Evelyn has been having a pretty rough game here, 1-5, and looks like the South are going to be starting to roam around as their full 5.
And I think this is a great decision by Silent Bar. They have to realize their time is not there. They're going to be running out of time very soon. It looks like Cris is going to be in a lot of trouble as everyone jumps on him.
Yeah, taunt going onto EHonda. He was taking tower shots and Draven took him out immediately. Now Cris is taking really low. Exhaust goes onto Ghoztzero. They're still chasing after Cris here. Ghoztzero gets on into there, takes the tower shot. Janna ultimate comes across as Vileroze comes in from the back, picks up the kill onto ArcZSlash. Double kill actually coming off for Hirishin, and then they're chasing after DkBnet. It looks like Ghoztzero is way too low to help out, but DkBnet is so slow as frommaplestreet chases onto him. Sandside comes out from maplestreet, picks up the kill. So a 2 for 4 actually in favor once again for Velocity Esports.
It's an incredible engagement there by Velocity. Cris sacrificed himself to make sure that the tower got a few shots. And the tower just, with those 2 or 3 extra shots, really turned that fight around. And it looks like maplestreet's going to be able to take this Baron down really quick, as it is almost at half health, and it is going to die in about 2 or 3 seconds. Ghoztzero is going to try and get a steal, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to, as Cris gets a nice taunt over the wall.
Yeah, the taunt coming out will make him fall back there, so NK picks up that one. And Ghoztzero had to go back as Cris went over and taunted him. And I think the big thing in that team fight was that, for one thing, they went under that tower. Cris got the taunt off. EHonda was the first one focused by the tower. And EHonda was just absolutely melted by the tower shots. Draven ult came out, Draven ult came back, took out EHonda. And they just took him out so quickly, he wasn't able to have too much effect in the rest of the team fight there. And now with this Baron buff, it's just going to be absolutely terrifying.
And EHonda is the strongest member of Salad Bar in this game, as he has the ability to roam around. It looks like he might be in trouble, but no, he's going to actually do even more damage to Vileroze. And I think EHonda really needs to find some good engagements, as he hasn't found any so far.
Yeah, actually looks like bottom lane, DkBnet and ArcZSlash trying to push onto this. Actually going aggressive onto NK. NK has pretty much been the person that's been getting caught all game long. He actually flashed through the wall. He might be able to get out of this. Will be hard actually flashing from the wall after him. Goes in with the dash, picks up the kill. Also the tower falls to the minions down in bottom lane. And once again, NK going down, getting caught off by the whole team of the South Bar. But look at top lane, Cris just pushing it up, being Shen, being that strong split pusher that you really can't stop, because you can go up to stop him, he walks away, and then the other team and then the rest of his team engages onto your team 4v5, he just teleports in. So it looks like they will be sending people to try to deal with him though.
And I think Hirishin can do a good job of dealing with him. The push this wave is just too strong, so he should be able to pick up this tower without too much damage. And with that Baron buff, I don't think Hirishin can actually kill him at this point. But as soon as that Baron buff wears off, he should have a decent opportunity to just jump on him, weaken him, and keep him from split pushing as much as he would like. Dragon is about to respawn here, and it looks like maplestreet's going to look to take it down, and he almost kills it in about 5 hits.
Jeez, that just gets absolutely melted. Just press X and just look at the gold counts that they have stored up. They all have almost 1,000 gold to spend, except for Nami there, which is kind of normal because she's the support. And Shen just brought Aegis to the Legion. Wonderful tanking guy, just makes him so much tankier. Looks like Ghoztzero is going to be aiming to get that Aegis of the Legion himself. Has all the components for that, so will be coming soon shortly.
He is a good mix of tank and damage at this point, just due to the fact he's gone for a lot of health items, and he's gone for those boots of mobility, so that he can roam around and actually get in position to use the safeguard properly. As it looks like we're going to see a free tower taken in this mid lane, as Velocity is uncontested. Hirishin's trying to come inside, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Yeah,
and looks like this tower will be able to live. It's very, very low. Probably will get taken out very, very soon. There's a lot of people getting on into this middle lane, it looks like, coming up from Velocity Esports as they are pushing on a little bit on into this. They have lots of wards coming out. Just look at the bottom half of this jungle around the whole map. Also have Vileroze just pushing out onto this bottom lane. And they're just playing so aggressive. EHonda just taking so much damage. And here comes the tower wave from Nami. Cris comes in and puts the time up. And he picks up the kill onto EHonda. Draven ultimate comes across. Not able to get anything there. But because Cris went and got the kill. Vileroze is around here on the side, putting out the damage. EHonda once again going down, absolutely melted down. And Cris goes in with the top. Hirishin taking the damage. Ghoztzero is taking so much. Gets taken out. Another kill for Cris. Hirishin's trying to be the front line of the team. He's exhausted throughout the Randuin's Omen, repelling everybody away, it looks like there. But there's still 5 people left alive from Velocity Esports. They could just push on.
And I think they're going to. They have no reason to stop. Baron buffs up for another few seconds. And that'll give them all the regeneration they need. And Hirishin's going to go down as Draven just does way too much damage. As he is basically an ultimate assassin at this point. And DkBnet goes down as well, whirling axes all over the place. And Varus continuing to go deep with the Shen ultimate on top of it.
Yep, and ArcZSlash gets super low, but EHonda comes in. He's looking for revenge, just like Varus will be going down. There will be deception coming back and taking him off. However, it looks like EHonda cannot stop this inhibitor from going down. Ghoztzero has his spawn, but all it can really do is just repel minions. As the first inhibitor goes down, the Velocity was picking that one up, and they just completely swept these past few team fights.
And I think we're going to see Velocity take this game pretty handily at this point, as they're up about 9,000 gold, and I don't see what Salad Bar can really do to come back. They had a good early to mid-game lineup, but their time just kind of ran out when Maplestreet got this strong. Varus picked up a few extra kills and a lot of farm. And I think next game we're going to have to see EHonda roaming around more. He's known for his roaming, but he never got any real good ganks off outside of 1 or 2 in the bottom lane. And you have to have him roam more than that. That's what the Salad Bar relies on. And hopefully he'll do that in the next game.
Yeah, there just haven't been so many kills on the front Maplestreet. They spent so much time focusing on the top, mid, and jungle. They just, bottom lane was kind of left to do its thing, and in that bottom lane, front Maplestreet just farmed it up the whole game, waited for these team fights to come in, and now he's just wrecking these team fights.
And he's really been carrying Velocity as of late, as that Draven play basically ended the fight in the last engagement, as he took Ahri down to about a quarter health with just 2 or 3 axes. And it looks like we're going to continue to have Velocity farm it out, play it incredibly safe, and likely push this bottom lane, as that does still have an outer tower to it, and they could easily push into the middle tower, or excuse me, the base tower, as soon as the super minions pile up in the mid lane.
Yep, and it just looks like 2 people top lane. The South Side just trying to kind of repel all these minions here, and we're seeing a little bit of the split pushes coming out of Velocity Esports, having 2 people top, 2 people bottom, and it's just the Salvar has to choose which one they go and defend.
And I'm not sure either choice is really a good one, unless they can really isolate someone and take the fight 5v2, 5v3, and win it quickly enough to return to their base before it's destroyed, as that base is not going to last long to whichever pair decides to go in for it.
Yeah, but they really can't. There's just wards all over the jungle, all over the south side of the jungle from Velocity Esports. They just have the whole thing pretty much lit up in wards. You can see where people are going. Actually, top lane, Cris and Vileroze going aggressive onto EHonda and Hirishin. Vileroze is putting on the ultimate here. The Standing Knight coming off onto Vileroze. EHonda taking so much damage, but the shield did come out, and EHonda will be able to live through that one. Cris throws out the taunt, stopping Hirishin from pursuing Vileroze. However, meanwhile, down bottom, it's 2 versus 3. Tower wave comes out from this Nami. Gonna be able to knock up DkBnet. The shield comes out from Ghoztzero and keep going aggressive. Put out the ultimate from Maplestreet is around, but the snare does come off. It looks like they will be able to repel the top lane and bottom lane pushes.
They still lost the tower on the side. Yep. Yeah, they lost the tower on the Salad Bar side, and it took virtually everything just to repel those engagements. They didn't even win them, as it was basically none for none across the map, and they just don't have the damage, and they can't deal with Cris at this point, as he is basically a tanky monster. But it looks like Varus is going to pick up a kill on Hirishin.
Yeah, they're jumping around to Hirishin. I don't think he was expecting this at all. EHonda is around throwing off the charm. Now going on to Vileroze, but Vileroze leaps away. He's able to get out of there. Ghoztzero comes in though. And actually EHonda picks up Vileroze. What? And now they're still chasing after Cris. The charm comes off. Looks like Cris will be going down eventually. He is so tanky as Shen. There you go. Double kill for EHonda.
The only thing they lost out of this was a dragon, so it's a fairly worth it trade, as you trade 2 for dragon plus a kill is fairly even and slightly in your favor. The problem is they can't afford to keep giving up map control like this, and it looks like Baron has respawned, so we'll see him actually being attempted here by the Salad Bar.
Yeah, they're going for this Baron. I mean, there are 2 people down Vileroze and Cris on the side of Velocity Esports. So they are going to be starting off onto this. Draven ultimate comes across. This Baron is not going down as fast as I think they would have wanted to. Prison comes out, hits ArcZSlash. This is definitely not the best Baron for the Salad, but they want to turn around. They're flashing over the wall, trying to go on to PanderNyrl. Exhaust goes on to EHonda. EHonda's taking so much effort from PanderNyrl. Exhaust goes out with a cleanse immediately, and now they're trying to chase down onto this one from PanderNyrl, just ripping them apart. Kill goes up onto Evaniskus. There is the Zana's Hourglass used by NKing, and now they're chasing after DkBnet. He's going to be flashing over the wall. Can he even get the kill onto NKing? He will be able to. Now running away. Hirishin is going to be coming in here. The ultimate comes off from DkBnet. Does not have everything, so the Baron attempt is stopped now, and looks like they could possibly attempt this themselves.
They're definitely going to. As we saw in the earlier Baron, MapleStreet just melts that objective. Hirishin and DkBnet are the only champions in the area. Ghoztzero is not going to be there in time to make a big difference, though they did manage to buy enough time for this middle inhibitor to respawn. Ghoztzero is going to have to get a steal here, and I'm not sure he's going to be there in time. He does actually see it, but he doesn't actually go for it. Cris jumps over the wall with a flash, but there is no real contention on that Baron.
Meanwhile, in their base, the inhibitor is getting hit on by these minions. They have to go back and defend this. Bottom lane is pushing up here. This tower isn't. It's going to be dangerous for this tower. Zeke's heroed on this Nami. That is such an aggressive buy right there. Gives extra lifesteal. It's so useful for his team because there's so much physical damage, auto attackers on his team. That is such a nice item. And it just shows, like, look at these items on the supports. Shirelius Reverie as well as Zeke's herald on this Nami from Evaniskus. Meanwhile, ArcZSlash has only been able to pick up a Sightstone.
He's picked up a Kindle Gem as well, which I'm thinking we'll be building into a Locket most likely, just to give his team a little bit of extra help. And it looks like Renekton's actually picked up a Thorn Mail, as he realizes there's pretty much only physical damage. NK Inc. has a bit of magic damage, but it's not enough to really worry about. Same thing with Shen. They're more about tankiness and just being an annoying factor in the fight. It looks like Evaniskus takes a big charm and Orb of Deception, and he is not going to be very happy with that, as he did not get the Aqua Prison to land.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. He does have the heal to heal back up. Also, really all he wants to do is Tidal Wave, Aqua Prison. There's the Tidal Wave, actually. EHonda going to be really slow here to try to chase onto this one. 79 comes out into Vileroze. EHonda taking on solo. This inhibitor is just going to get completely dropped and melted right there. And now it looks like Ping's going up onto this bottom lane side. All they have to do is take out an inhibitor attack. They should be able to do that pretty quickly. Cris is very tanky. They have from MapleStreet. He can just put out so much damage. And look at them chunk down that tower.
They're doing a good job to do that, and wow, EHonda takes almost a half of his health with a single axe. That is really what you can't have happen, as MapleStreet looks to carry this game very hard, but the rest of his team backing him up perfectly. Varus looking to come from behind and see if he can get a jump here onto DkBnet, because if they can kill him quickly, there's not going to be enough damage from the rest of Salad Bar, even in the best of engagements.
Oh, jeez, the burst on DkBnet having to turn this one around. But DkBnet is still alive, putting up auto attacks. The tower does go down. Draven ultimate does come across. DkBnet is extremely low, has to go back. Looks like the second inhibitor gonna be taking that buy from MapleStreet. They weren't even able to take out Vileroze. Now it looks like Velocity Esports just wants to go to town on this base. They're still very healthy. They're gonna be jumping onto their top wave, comes off once again. Hirishin to the middle of the team there, trying to stay away from this one, but Hirishin just takes so much edge. Will be following to NK. Varus jumps in onto them, picks up the kill onto EHonda. Draven was out from MapleStreet, able to pick up kills. Double kill for NK Inc. Double kill for Vileroze, and GG well played coming out in all chat as Velocity Esports goes ahead and takes down these Nexus towers. This is going to be the first game in this best of 3, and now they will be moving on to a game 2. Velocity Esports picking up the first game.
And that was basically off the back of MapleStreet really dominating his lane. Salad Bar had some great opportunities to make mid-game plays, but they were just never enough to actually win the game or get any big pushes. They really needed to get something going, and they just couldn't with that very mid-game oriented lineup from the Salad Bar. This is the ESL Pro Series, sponsored by the ESL and NESL. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with game number 2 between the Salad Bar and Velocity Esports in just a few moments, and we'll see if Salad Bar can even up the series at 1 apiece. Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more, follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below.